Welcome to the Deaf Kid Show. Let's go.
Hey! All right. Welcome to the GK Show. Fun music at the beginning. Yeah! Hope you're having a good day. Let's start the pod. All right, here we go. First time recording live. Not well, this isn't coming out live. Why did I say that? Start over here. All right, here we go. First time recording. Not live. I'm alive. How's it work? This isn't coming out live. Not live. Third time. All right, here we go. First time recording from the ship. If anyone's new to the show, I'm performing on cruise ships a lot, and I don't have an internet connection. So my wife, the genius that is my wife, she came up with the idea. Why don't you just bring your mic on the ship and record them, and then record the podcast, and then you can just put them out when you have Wi-Fi. Who did I marry? Albert freaking Weinstein? Anyways, hopefully everyone got the joke that I know his name's Einstein. Just did my first show on this ship, and it was a lot of fun. These shows, man, are just packed. Like, this show probably had over 500 people, standing room only. And what's funny is, before I get into this, please rate the podcast 5 stars. I know it's annoying I have to say it. Please just take 10 seconds, go rate it 5 stars. It really helps me out. Leave a review, subscribe. And if you are enjoying it, tell your friends. It's the only way it's going to get the word out. I did notice that the listenership is growing, which is nice. I'm trying to put out as many as I can, so please rate it 5 stars. It really, really helps. I know it's annoying to hear on a podcast. I listen to podcasts as well, and now when I hear it, I'm like, yeah, I'm doing that right now. So yeah, and if you could leave a review, that's awesome. Doesn't have to be long. Could say, cool pod, love it. Jeff, Jeff, is so great. I don't know, whatever. So yeah, appreciate that. So as I'm walking, I have to walk. My room is, I'm always in a different room on every ship, obviously, but sometimes you're close to the comedy club, sometimes you're not close to the comedy club. So right now, I'm on deck 2. Sometimes they put me on 0 deck. 0 deck is like, shit goes down, we're the first to die. You know what I mean? If we're sinking, we're the people in Titanic who are like, come on, let us out of the cages. But right now, I'm on deck 2, so I feel like a civilian. I thought I might have a nice ocean view as I was walking to my room. I'm looking at the numbers, and I'm like, oh, I'm in 2237, right? And I'm looking at the numbers, and it's like 2261, 2259. It's going down. I'm like, man, all of these are on the ocean view side. This is dope. I'm about to have the best room I've ever had on one of these ships. And then 2241 and 2237 are both on the interior. It's like a little crew-only door that I didn't see coming. So basically, whatever. I don't have the ocean view, but I do have a nice sized bed. Sometimes the bed is very small, and I have a double now. It's like twice as, it's basically 2 of the beds I usually have, and it's a lot bigger. I'll tell you what, man, when you double something up, it's a lot, you know what I mean? Think of your weenie. What if you had double weenie? That's a huge weenie. I don't care where your weenie's starting at. You know what I mean? Think about your gut, double gut. Anyways, it's very late. Obviously, had a horribly long travel day. So anyways, as I'm walking to the show, let me tell you about that. Now I'm going to get to my travel day, because I have a bone to pick with gate agents at the airport, and this is not going away anytime soon. I dislike these people, some of them, not all of them. So as I'm walking to my show, I have to walk all the way down the hallway to the other end of the ship and then go up like 3 flights of stairs, right? Three levels. So I'm walking. A lot of people on the cruises, they're having a good time. They're partying, they're drinking. The shorter cruises, I found out, more partying, more drinking. Like, I'm fitting this in. What is this, a 3-day cruise, 4-day cruise? Yeah, we're getting drunk. We're getting booked up, right? Because they're really cramming it all in. So these ladies, and I'm sitting there, I see an open hallway. You ever see an open hallway and you're like, yeah, I'm going to sprint down this hallway so I can get where I'm going faster? Anyways, no one was in my way, and then as I'm walking, 4 ladies come out of one of the rooms, and they're clearly drunk, which is fine. They're having a good time. Not like hammered, but they're just having a good time. And they're walking, the hallways are narrow. So I was like, okay, what am I stuck behind these people? You know what I mean? Come on, I got to get to the show on time. I got to meet the host who I have to check in with. I have to be on time. Don't want the guy to dislike me. So I love how I'm going through all these things that run through my head. So they eventually are just like, oh, hey, like, go ahead. You can go ahead. And I'm like, oh, thanks, And then I walk past, and then they start catcalling me, right? They're like, hey, slow down. Hey, where are you going? Stuff like that. And I just ignored them because I was trying to get to the show. And also, nothing to talk about. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to react to that. I know women get catcalled all the time. Totally can see how that's annoying. You know what I mean? I've had it a couple times in my life. Remember, I had like gay guys sometimes here and there hit on me when I was in like West Hollywood. I had an old friend who used to dance at one of the Abbey, one of the biggest gay clubs is a bar. I don't know. I went there a couple times. She was like a go-go dancer or whatever. So I remember hanging out. We'd like on her break, she'd come out and we'd hang out. And guys, obviously, pretty much everyone there is gay. So like they assumed I was gay. So a couple times I'd been hit on by like guys or whatever. But it's so rare. It's so rare for a guy to get actually like, hey, and girls get the hey all the time. That sucks. Your whole life, you're just, oh man, once I open this door and walk out of my house, I'm just going to get, hey, where are you going? Don't be a bitch. Oh, what are you, lesbian? Like that just constantly bombarded at you. That's terrible. So anyways, I ignored these people, and in the back of my mind, I was like, watch, they're going to be at my show. Sure enough, the sound guy is in the back of the room, these big rooms at work, and I go to the back of the room, meet the sound guy, and then I could see the whole crowd coming in, is my point, sitting down, and I'm like, there they are. There are those ladies. After the show, they're going to be like, we saw you in the hallway. And that's what happened. So that's always good. It's always good when I'm rude to people. Am I rude by ignoring the cat calls? How do you react to the cat call? I appreciate the cat call. I'm married, though. And then they're going to come back with something stronger. Like, well, that don't mean anything. Is she here? Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. What's the point? So I don't know how to respond to that. I feel for people who get hit on constantly. You know what I mean? Well, that sounded really bad. Hey, I get it now. Okay? Sucks to be hit on. I get how that could be horrible if it happened all the time. I do think that's a kind of a funny thing. That'd be like a funny sketch, Just a woman just terribly frightened to leave her house. The second she opens her doors, just a bunch of dudes. What's up? What's up? What's up? Hey, where you going? Where you going? Oh, it's gonna be like that? Oh, it's gonna be like that? Oh, she's gonna be like that? Your whole life. You can't even just go to the grocery store. Oh man, that just brings up, I don't know if I already talked about in this podcast, but I had this bit that is so hard to get into, but when I get into it the right way, it does great. I don't want to be one of those comics like, it kills, man. It kills. I always kill. I always crush with this, because that's not a thing. But the few times I've gotten into it correctly, the crowds love it. It has to be like the right type of crowd. But basically, my wife, one time I dropped her off to run to the store. We needed something, just like one thing or whatever. We had both kids in the car, and it was late, so I didn't want to park and me go in. Usually I would run out and go in, but she's like, but I said, like, hey, can you just go in, because I don't want to take the kids out, and I don't want to leave you guys in the parking lot, you know what I mean, by yourselves. So she's like, all right. And I could tell she didn't want to, and I felt kind of bad. She gets out of the car immediately. These dudes were just like, hey, where you going? Where you going? And my wife is just like, okay, just kept walking. And he's like, I think the guy said, like, he's like, oh, you don't gotta be a bitch. He's like, you don't gotta be a bitch. And then she was like already like kind of in this, like, going through that little inside the store, where you're kind of inside the store, but you're really where the carts are. And he yells, like, I could hear him. I was watching the whole time, but she couldn't hear him. And he's like, I'd eat that booty, though. I'd eat that booty. And you could tell this guy was trying to like show off for the guy, like his buddy he was with. So my point is, I do this bit where I'm like, okay, let's just take a guess. Like, who did, like, let's name that race or whatever. And it works when there's black people in the audience, because they find it hilarious. Or not all black people obviously would, but people in the crowd, if it's like the crowd already is on my side and gets me. Anyways, probably just Whatever. So it's just funny. I'm like, was that a? Let's just throw them know. Was that an Orthodox Jewish guy? Like, hello, I'd eat that tukis. I'd love to eat that tukis. Was that? I don't know. I guess you could do all the races. It could possibly. It wasn't an Indian guy. Hey, where are you going? I'd love to eat that booty as long as there's no cow in there because it's sacred. If you have meat inside your booty, I wouldn't eat it, but I would eat your regular booty, no cow. All right. So it's just getting worse and worse the way I'm doing this. Let's see. Could it be an Asian guy? I just keep going. Oh, it's a booty. It's just like none of them sound right except for ding ding. Right. So, anyways, I had a buddy tell me he liked my Italian accent. The last one. Hey, where you going? I'll eat that fucking booty, huh? Put a little fucking put a little Parmesan on that booty. I'll put a little Parmesan on that booty and I'll fucking dig right in with one of those big pasta spoons. So that's for him. So I'm just going delirious. I slept. Oh, I got to get into this. So the travel days to get to a lot of these ships are just kind of, it's not the worst thing in the world because I used to have really bad travel days when I was touring a bunch of colleges and stuff, but some of these, you don't get a lot of sleep. It's just one of those things where you're not going to get sleep. So I had to fly from LAX on a 12:38 a.m. flight, and then I fly to Dallas, and then I fly from Dallas to New Orleans. So, and then from New Orleans I have to get, on a bus or an Uber or whatever if they have shuttle, or sometimes just an Uber. Uber's so much easier. And then I just get to the ship. Then once you get on the ship, you have to go through like a process of like, getting all your credentials stuff, whatever, get in your room, get into your room. Sometimes they make you do a security thing. So it's just a long day. And those flights, if you fly straight to Miami from LA or something, that you could, you could get some sleep, possibly some decent sleep. You know what I mean? That's like a 5.5 hour flight. You have a good chance if you're able to sleep on the plane and you're tired, you could knock out for like a decent 4 hours. You know what I mean? Like even if you're just kind of asleep the whole time, maybe 4 hours of that is like pretty good, which that'll help you get through the day. So LA to Dallas is like 3 hours. So you really don't get, for me at least, I have like the anxiety of like, there's no way I'm getting good sleep. So then that makes me not sleep. And if I wake up even a little bit on the flight, now I'm like, shit, I'm not getting deep sleep. I was hoping to get 3 hours of deep sleep and now it's not happening. So I got crappy sleep. But here's the thing. So I go to the airport, and this is where I'm talking about these gate agents. Now we're talking about it. These motherfuckers, dude, there's no other way to say it. They're liars. They lie. I travel with a carry-on, okay? Because one, I don't need more than that unless I'm selling merch. If I have like a bunch of, I used to sell CDs, so I'd check a bag because I'd sell a bunch of CDs, and then those became obsolete. And then sometimes I'd sell books. So if I'm traveling on a plane somewhere where I'm going to sell books, like, yeah, I always try and make it so I could just, put in my carry-on, but whatever. So I travel in a carry-on. I try really hard not to check a bag because one, you have all your stuff with you. You don't have to worry about any sort of crazy mishap at the airport, which, accidents happen. I'm not blaming them, but, just you keep your property with you at all times. So I have a carry-on bag, okay? It's a carry-on sized bag. This bag is not new. I've traveled with this bag tons of times. I got this bag as a wedding gift. So since 2015. Since 2015, this has been my carry-on bag, and it works almost every time. And why I say almost every time, I don't know why I have to say works. The point is I don't get shit for it almost 90% of the time. But every now and then, I'd say 10, 15% of the time, maybe 20, somebody will at the gate will just be like, oh, we got to see if that bag fits, right? First off, this bag has been in all the overhead bin spaces. It fits. I've been on bigger planes. I've been on smaller planes. It fits just fine. Not an issue at all. I never have to cram it in or, can I just put mine sideways and not put it in wheels? Whatever. So the point is it fits. So I was like, all right. So what I did is right in front of them, I turn around and I dropped it into the thing, right? Drops right in. Fits. Okay? It's in. The lady goes, no, it doesn't fit. And I go, how's it not fit? I'm like, we're talking about it not fitting as it's fitting. It's fitting right in front of all of us. I don't have like my knee on top of it and I'm like putting all my body weight on it. It's just in. I'm not even touching it. And I go, what are you talking about? And she goes, it doesn't fit. Like, you need to check it. So this is like a thing, like they know when they say we need to see if it fits, they're just going to make you check it anyways. And I go, why? It fits. And she goes, it doesn't fit. I go, it's in. And she goes, You forced it in. I go, what are you talking about? I go, I just dropped it in and it went straight in. And then she just forced me to check my bag. I'm not going to get into some huge thing at the airport where everybody has, scared of somebody making a scene. So they check my bag. They make me check my bag, right? So here's where the story goes from whatever to kind of funny, I think. So I don't like that shit, right? It's BS. This bag has flown so many times, like I said. So I went on, first of all, I called American Airlines. And they were just like, oh, you have to leave that complaint on the website. So I go on the website. I find a spot to leave the complaint. I write the complaint. You guys get it. I already told you what the complaint is, right? This bag always fits, blah, blah. Every now and then some overzealous gate agent does this, and I'm upset about it, right? Then, here's where it gets kind of funny because I end up looking like an idiot, to myself at least so far. Then I get to New Orleans, right? Because they check your bag all the way to your final destination. I get to New Orleans, get my bag, and I travel with a bunch of these nutrition bars because it just helps me when I'm on the road. I eat super healthy most of the time. I'll have like a day here or there, maybe I won't, but I really, because it's hard to work out when I'm in town like I used to because I'm with my kids all the time. So when I'm on the road now, I get more sleep like I should, which is healthy. I work out every day, and I try and eat right. So I have a couple nutrition bars that sometimes I'll just supplement a meal and eat 2 of those, right? And so I have a bunch of them because I'm going to be gone for 10 days. And I open the front zipper of my carry-on, and I'm like, wow, there's like way less bars than there was before. So I write a follow-up complaint. All right, they haven't even fully processed my first complaint yet, right? These are hours apart. Write a follow-up complaint, and this one, guys, I am pissed off. Okay, if I could find a copy of this, I might read it on a later podcast. I don't know if they email me like, here's a copy of your complaint. Let me see. I have bad internet now. Maybe it's like saved in my thing, and I can see it because I did see that they said like, hey, here's we got your complaint. Maybe they didn't send that in an email, or is it? Oh, here it is. Come on. There it is. Has received your complaint. Do they put it in here? No, they don't. Okay, good, because it is embarrassing at this point. So I read this complaint, guys. At this one, I'm pissed, right? Now I'm just like, yeah, I already wrote this other complaint, blah, blah, blah. Like really quickly reiterated my other complaint that they're going to see because I have my, American Airlines Advantage number attached to it. And then I write how, long story short, I was robbed. I was robbed of my nutrition bars, guys, and this is why I like to travel with my stuff, and this is why I don't want someone else's possession. And I think at one point I even said some piece of garbage stole my stuff. I just hate like people who steal from other people. I just don't like it, right? So I am pissed in this whole thing, right? And I think I ended it. It was so early in the morning, and I had like got such crappy sleep, and I was so just irritated already. I think I ended it with something like, and now I'm gonna go open my bag and hope that like nothing else was stolen, right? So what happens when I open my bag? I immediately see more of my bars and realize, oh, that's right, I put some on the inside pouch too. And it's like, I want to write them back like, hey, about those bars. Don't worry about it. But I was so over the top in my anger about the bars that it's hard to pull back. You know what I mean? Not like I didn't write it the way I feel like normally I would write something if I wasn't dead tired, off no sleep, and just irritable. Normally I'd be like, hey, well, actually I wouldn't even have written it. I would have checked my bag first, and then I would be like, okay, cool. There they are. That's right. You put some in there. So I don't know how to come back from that. Like, hey, to anyone who I called a piece of garbage, I would like to take that back. I still am upset about the gate agent. So let's just see what the response is. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'll have to update you guys on the response. I had a great situation with Alaska Airlines. They ruined my bag. They literally did the front on a check bag because I was going up to Canada, and I did check a bag because I had a bunch of, I was going to be there for a while. I wasn't going to have, I don't think I had access to laundry and whatever. So I checked a bag, and they just totally, like the big front pocket on my big bag was just ripped and hanging open when I went to get it. And then I told them like, yo, like what the heck? And they were just like, oh yeah, like we don't take care of that. That's like natural wear and tear. I go, natural wear and tear? It's not like a little rip on the side. It's like the whole front pocket is hanging open. The zipper you broke off, and I had stuff in there and it's all gone. And so the stuff I had in there were books that I was going to sell, and they were just like, yeah, whatever. The people at the airport can be fucking assholes. Like, I get that they deal with like complaints all the time, but I'm very, in person, like, I'm very nice when I approach those situations, because I just feel like you catch more bees with honey, even though I feel like that's not the case. I notice people who come at those people hot, like, oh, where's your supervisor? I'm angry, blah, blah, blah. You're not going to talk to me like that. Those people tend to get more than me. I'm always, like, too nice, and then they're like, yeah, this guy's nice, whatever, fuck him. So, those people were just, like, basically like, yeah, it's natural wear and tear. And then that was at the Seattle airport. That was before I was going up to Calgary. So, and the reason I had to get my bag is because it's like another situation. The flight was delayed. Anyways, just wanted the story to make sense. So I had to overnight in Seattle. So by the way, I think they didn't even pay for my overnight in Seattle. That airline does kind of suck. They just purposely didn't go to Calgary, and I lost all this money because I didn't get to do the show that night. Anyways, okay, now I'm upset. But anyway, so those people at the airport were saying like, oh yeah, whatever, tough shit. And then I called and I talked to this lady at the actual like main office or whatever. She was so cool. She was like, yeah, I'm gonna take care of that for you. She's like, they shouldn't have said that, and also especially because it's not natural wear and tear. It sounds like, send me the pictures and stuff. And she goes, but also it's an international flight, and she goes, and international flights like should be protected, all that stuff. But anyways, I guess there's different rules. But aside from that, she said it wasn't natural wear and tear. That lady ended up hooking it up. They reimbursed me for my bag. I sent them like what my bag would cost. I found it on Amazon because I don't know how much it cost. It was a wedding gift, and they sent me that plus all the money for the books as if I sold them, which was right on. So always call the number. I think I might have mentioned this before on a podcast. Always call and talk to those people. Do not talk to the jerks at the airport who are in a bad mood. So there you go. Now we have a cliffhanger. What happens with my carry-on? How does American Airlines handle it? All right. When I got the thing I like about the ships out of New Orleans is you're going through, I don't know if it's the bayou or what, but you're going through like the river. I think it's the river. You're going through a river for a long time. Is it technically a canal? I think it's canal. I don't know. I gotta look this up. But you're going through that for like hours after you leave the port. So I have full cell phone service for a long time, which is cool when we leave, and it's cool when we're going back to the port because you just have all this extra time of service, right? So I was watching on my phone after I woke up from my 6-hour nap. I think it took like a solid 6 hours. I went to bed when I finally got in my room at like 10:45, I think, maybe 11. I woke up at 3 something, and then I just slept again till like 5:45. I don't know, it was a lot. I got a lot of sleep, and I can't wait to sleep again tonight. It's gonna be great. That's what it is. It's like being a parent to young kids. You're just like, man, I'm gonna sleep tonight. Are you gonna party? I'm not partying, man. I'm gonna sleep. I'm gonna get in my bed. I'm gonna sprawl out. So anyways, I watched this movie on my phone on HBO called The Mule with Clint Eastwood, and it was good. I will recommend it. It was a good movie. But Clint Eastwood has multiple movies. Maybe in my head I'm exaggerating the amount, but is he doing a lot of movies now where he's like this old grumpy white guy who's kind of racist? But he's not racist, but he says like, well, in Gran Torino he was racist, but then somebody just like says things like in this movie, he's like a really nice guy, likes everybody. He's not racist at all, but he says things that are just dated, like it kind of doesn't really add to the movie. Like in this movie, he pulls over to the side of the road to help a family who has a flat tire, and they're black. And he's like, oh, you guys need help? He's being like a really nice person. And they're like, yeah, just the lady's like, oh, my husband doesn't know how to change a flat. And he's like, oh, that's what's wrong with your generation, everything's on the phone. There's always like this weird, like we get that he's old. He already looks fucking old. You know what I mean? We don't need your generation. Don't you just live life? You're always on your phone. So it's like he said that multiple times throughout the movie to different people. So I thought that was a little, it's just, I don't know if he's doing it to be funny. I don't know. So then he says, as he's helping him, he goes, this is nice. He said something like, this is nice helping you Negro folk. And then the wife is like, makes this face, the husband looks at her, and then she's like, we don't say that anymore. You know, like, we don't say that word. And then the guy's like, yeah, it's like, it's black, or just people. He said, or just, what did he say, just people or something, or just human? He said just people. And then Clint Eastwood's character is like, oh, okay. He's like, well, how about that, or something. He said something like that. Like, so it's just like, what is this in the movie for? We already get he's an old dude. He's clearly white. But the thing is, his character doesn't mean anything malicious by it. And by the way, who would say that? Do people, I mean, I don't know. Do people, my grandpa died when he was 91, and my grandpa was born in 1921. My grandpa I never saw obviously my grandpa, but the thing, this is the problem with it. Clint Eastwood's character wasn't racist. Like, the whole point of his character, he was nice to everybody. Like, he's a drug mule in the movie. He ends up being a drug mule. But before that, he has all these Mexican friends, and he speaks Spanish to them, and they all love him. And then even the drug dealer guys, like, all love him. And there's not like a racist bone in his body. He's like a good dude. The storyline of the movie, besides him being a drug mule, is that he, like, doesn't have a relationship with his family because he always put work first, right? Which, by the way, I always end up watching movies like that when I'm away from my family. It makes me super sad. I'm like, am I that guy? Am I that shitty dad? So, anyways, there's just like no point for it, and he didn't say it in a racist way, and it's just weird. It's just like a weird thing in the movie to have like oh, my point is my grandpa. They never like referred to people as, if you're not racist, why are you referring to people as the thing they are? Like, I would never open a door for someone and be like, look at me, open a door for an Asian family. Look at me, opening a door for a bunch of Middle Eastern people. Like, it seems just not realistic, but I don't know. I just didn't go with his character, but I got that his character was old. But anyways, maybe he did it because he's trying to show that sometimes people are just older and they mean nothing by it. Maybe that's the reason. I just talked myself into a circle and I figured it out. Maybe that's the reason why he did it. Hey, he didn't mean anything. Like, some people just say words that they're used to saying, but they don't mean anything by them. Maybe that's it. I don't know. All right. So, but yeah, I remember he's done multiple movies where he's just like a supposedly bad dad, you know? Like this movie, Trouble with the Curve. I thought that was a good movie. Justin Timberlake, Amy Adams, Clint Eastwood. I'm just glad that he's doing movies with actors again. He did that movie, Gran Torino. That movie straight up just sucked. That movie was so weird. Like, if anyone doesn't know this, he just got new, like, people who had never been in anything to be the other actors, and I was confused watching that movie because this Asian gang, but none of them seemed tough. And then it's weird when you watch movies, you're maybe not noticing that, oh, I'm believing that person is a gang member, and I believe that person's a cop. But when you see bad actors, you're like, what is happening right now? They were just like, oh yeah, man, oh yeah, dude. And I'm just like, are these people, like, I feel like they showed them a YouTube video of a gang in real life, and they go, just, okay, you got it, go out there, all right, we're rolling, action, go. They were so bad. They're terrible actors. So anyways, and I remember I didn't realize that. I think my dad told me after I saw that movie. But in that movie, Clint Eastwood was like the super racist, like, yo, you zipper heads, get off my porch. He was saying all these racial slurs I'd never even heard of. But Trouble with the Curve, like, he wasn't there with his daughter. This movie, he wasn't there with his daughter. And his daughter in this movie, her name's Allison Eastwood. I'm guessing that's his real daughter. So is this a catharsis type thing? His cathartic thing? Like, was he really a bad dad? I don't know. Okay, speaking real quick, another dad thing. When I'm working out, I download stuff on Amazon Prime Video, whatever, and Netflix, so I could just watch them while I'm working out. If any tip out there for people, helps you do a little bit longer of a workout. Sometimes, you don't like working out, but you're watching something, and you're like, oh, it only has 10 minutes left. I'll knock out another 10 minutes of this workout, And I use the elliptical because I have a bad back. So there you go. So anyways, I was watching this movie, Hannah, on Amazon Prime, and I started watching it a while ago, and then the first episode, and then I just like, oh, I'll watch the rest of it when I get on another ship. And it's pretty good so far. I only watched the first episode, so basically not giving too much away because I've only seen the first episode. But his dad escapes from some facility with his baby girl. He raises her in the woods. She's a baby at the time. He raises her. He teaches her how to fight. He teaches her that the outside world is like, there's these people that are out to get her. And we don't know why, unless I missed it, but we don't know why these people this lady is out to kill the main character and his daughter and everything, and that's the person who killed this girl Hannah's mom. So anyways, the dad's like, my point is this. I have one thing to say about this. Good show, but also, I guess I have two things. Good show, but also the dad, first episode, if you haven't seen it, I guess fast forward. First episode, she obviously at some point is going to get out of this forest because he's raising her in the forest. And she's, teenager. She wants to explore. She wants to know what's out there. So she sneaks out, meets this boy, this Polish guy who's, I guess he's like a teenager too. He's chopping wood or doing some shit. He's working in the forest. And they hang out one day. Then she comes back the next day and they hang out again. And he takes her like the satellite dish thing. They're sitting on it, looking up at the stars, and the boy kind of like makes a move on her, like he wants to kiss her, and obviously she doesn't really know what's going on because she grew up in the woods with her dad, and she doesn't know outside world stuff, right? So when she gets back and she finally tells the dad, like, yeah, this is what happened, blah blah blah, and then she goes, he tried to touch me. Like, she says to her dad, like, he tried to touch me, and they're just sitting there eating, and the dad gets what she means by it because she's just confused by it, and he goes, don't worry, he's just a boy. And I'm like, wait a second, what? You're the most protective dude ever. You teach her how to be a fucking assassin with her bare hands, and then you're cool with like some teenage dude trying to grow up your daughter? Like, the one thing every dad's like, fuck that guy, tell him no, you're not ready for that. This guy's like, no big deal, he's just a boy. But everybody else, the rest of the world, we fucking murder them with our hands if they come near us. But if some guy puts a move on you, fucking, it is what it is. It's like, it made no sense to me. All right. I think I have, okay, a couple more things real quick. These cruise ships, the cruise ships are kind of like a double-edged sword. It's kind of fun seeing people having a good time, everything. It's also kind of lonely because I'm not with my family and everyone else is on vacation, you're not, and it's weird. It's kind of a weird dynamic, but they have karaoke. I went to check out the room after I woke up from my nap where I'd be performing. I always like to see what the room looks like, and not that it matters, I'll perform anywhere, but so I walk in there doing karaoke in the room that I was going to be in, and these black girls were on stage singing Keith Sweat, Nobody, which is one of my favorite songs, but it's a very sexual song. Like, he's like, I want to please you, I want you to holler when you want me to stop. So they're up there singing this, like belting it, right? Probably partying, maybe had a couple drinks, who knows. And then like, I walked in right when their song started, and then just see like these white families with kids just leaving. Like, okay, karaoke took a turn. I just thought that was pretty funny. And when I was talking about bad acting earlier, bad singing, man. There's a lot of people that can sing really well in the world, and there's so many of us that can't. I can't, but man, I love that song, and these girls were not very good singers. They were just screaming it. I'm like, please make it stop. All right. Last thing, and hey, this is pretty good for the inaugural podcast on the ship. So I'll hopefully get this out in a couple days, and I'll just string out, I don't know if I should release multiple or I should just string them out because I could, say when I want them to post. But yeah, I don't know. Anyways, I'll be back on the land in a couple days, and hopefully I can go to Bourbon Street or something, get some Wi-Fi, and upload this stuff. So let's see. Last thing I wrote down: being super old. People used to die young. Oh yeah. I was watching that Clint Eastwood movie. It's just like so weird, We live so much longer now in case something happens, God forbid, right? It's like a weird thing. People used to live to be, the age limit for being a president, you have to be at least, in the United States, you have to be at least 35, right? But 35 back then when they made that, people weren't living to be 88 years old, whatever the average is, 82 or whatever, or 81, whatever the average is in our country. I think it's in the 80s for male and female now. That's insane. Like, I feel like the age, you should have to be like 45 now, right? I don't know. Yeah, people just die young. That's just so weird to think about. I'm 35. I should be like, all right, I only got 15 years left, maybe 20, and I'm done. And now it's just, you just want to keep living, and it's just a weird thing. I don't even know where I was going with this. Oh yeah, now you just die because you got old. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you're old, then you get something, you get sick, maybe you get, something that your body just can't fight off, or you catch a disease a little late or something. I don't know. People are mostly just dying, when you die, you're just old, just super old. My grandma was 98 when she passed away. And that's a long time to live. So, it used to just be like you got, bad diarrhea. And then it's like, oh, he's got the dysentery. Yep. Well, that's it for him. Just think about how much tougher people were back then, you know what I mean? Like, now it's somebody, steps on your foot at a club, and it's like, what's up, bro? You want to fucking fight? And you just cuss at each other and nothing happens. Used to be like, you pissed off the wrong cowboy. It's like, it's a fucking duel. Let's go out there and see who can draw first and shoot the other person. I don't know. Are these things all real? I mean, I feel like they are. Can you imagine being in the Old West? That would be so weird. What's his face? Seth MacFarlane made that movie, A Million Ways to Die in the West, or whatever. That was a pretty funny movie. But I thought one of the funniest things in that movie, well, there's a lot of funny things in that movie. Bill Maher is doing stand-up or whatever. He's talking to this crowd, and he introduces somebody, and he leans in as people are clapping and goes, shit crowd, which is just so funny because comics do that shit all the time. Like, you get off stage, and even though the audience is like, oh, that guy's great, it's like in your head you don't like them, you think they should have given you more, and you'll whisper something to the crowd like, oh, don't talk to the fucking guy in the front, blah blah blah, or there's some drunk people, these drunk ladies on the left, don't look at them. Like, we'll just say shit to each other, or shit crowd, stuff like that. That was pretty funny. But I'm not tough, man. I'm gonna try this trip to not cry in my room by myself, missing my kids and my family. It's like, I cry, dude, like, often. That's not, I don't know, Jimmy Valvano, the coach of North Carolina State, like, his legacy lives on because he got cancer. He gave like this amazing speech, I believe it was at the ESPYs, and they do it, they have the Jimmy V Classic now, Jimmy V Foundation, but he has this whole, in his real famous speech, he's like, there's 3 things you should do every day. He goes, you should laugh, you should cry, and you should think. He's like, that's a full day, man. That's a full day. You laugh and you cry and you think. It's like, dude, I do cry a lot, and I don't think it's normal. But he's talking about like having all those emotions or whatever every day. But I mean, back in the day, it was just like, oh yeah, man, fucking, I got all these brothers and sisters because there's no birth control, and some of them are dead because they fucking were at a saloon and got into some cowboy, and that guy's dead. It's like, it's just a weird thing now to die young, and I think it used to be a weird thing to not die young. Can you imagine being like 90 and 1650? People are like, yo, dude, you hear there's a guy that's 90 years old? And they're like, shut the fuck up, man, that's not a thing. Yeah, man, 2 towns over, 90? Get the fuck out. What is it? Is that the second coming? What are we talking about here? So, anyways, I think my whole thing was, one, I don't think that I'm tough because I cry way too much, and I don't even know where I was going with it. All right, I got to end on something a little bit lighter, but it's probably going to come off weird or just like eye-rolling. But everybody says you're supposed to like... everybody complains about their... Not everybody, but a lot of people complain about their wives and all that. And I mean, I've only been married 4 years, a little over 4 years, but I love my wife, man. I just still love hanging out with my wife. Like, she's my favorite person to hang out with. Whenever, like, the thing that is tough about having kids is there's not enough time for my wife and I to hang out just us. I love hanging out with just my wife. She's so funny, she's so fun, and she's a good balance for me. It's just weird that you see so many. Maybe I see a lot of people complain about their wives because of, I'm always at comedy shows, and there's a lot of married people who are like, oh, my wife, blah, blah, Just not, I don't know. I just, it's like kicking it with my wife. And I just wanted to end on that because she's the one who put the amazing idea in my head to bring my microphone on the road with me. The only reason I didn't bring it before is because I pack in this carry-on, like we talked about, and my carry-on is usually packed pretty tight. I pack very efficiently for these trips. And this mic is pretty big. It's a pretty big mic. So anyways, thanks for sticking around. Please rate the podcast 5 stars, subscribe, tell a friend, leave a review. And my book, my children's book, hopefully next month will be it'll be done and available. The website will be thedifferentbook.com, and I'm very, very excited to see if hopefully I can get that out in circulation and get people enjoying it. It's definitely a passion project, and I'm really means a lot to me personally. That's why I wrote it. So really hope it connects with people. You never know. You just make something, you create it, and you throw it out there, and a lot of times people are like, fucking nope. Nice try. Nope. And sometimes every now and then something catches, so hopefully it does. All right, guys, thanks so much for listening.
Thank you for listening to my daddy.